forgot to turn the rest of my shit on. I'm delightfully ahead of schedule.
Bluetooth connection success.
There we are. Alright. And... Oops, sorry. You know what? You guys probably didn't hear any of that. I was turning on and off digital stuff. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's... Yeah, when you're going live, you need a few seconds. Alright. Let's see. I think... I didn't tell this one to not have chat group, but I also didn't change the settings from last time. So, if nobody shows up, oh well. Excuse me. Good dawn, everybody. How was your We're a Free Country PSYOP day? I took care of doing some work at the beginning of the day yesterday, and then I got some food because I lifted 20 tons of bricks. And then I went to taking care of all sorts of things. Last night, Derek on Awaken Your Mind set up the live stream for the 9th that will be simulcast on my channel. I'll kind of be the lead of the panel with Tom Althouse. So I've been talking about that, and so I gotta talk about that. Because it's just been so exciting, right? I've maybe mentioned this before, I gotta mention it again. You know, because, you know, it's the Matrix, right? The Matrix, people have varying different degrees of whether they care about the Matrix, you know? And me, my watching of the Matrix was an ontological experience. It told the story in exactly the right way for me to take it seriously as a concept within the fiction. And I said, wow, what's the reality of that? Because all of that makes sense to me on a personal level because of my various experiences, and at that point, my attitudes about everybody else around me. Not exactly like that, but, you know, when you realize there's, you know, when somebody makes a presentation of the world and points out certain things that they want you to see that you happen to not have a personal attachment with, or that you do, but you're still an open-minded person, you know, that can affect you. I think a lot of people will intentionally block that out because we have been given the tool of avoidance as the profane's guard against manipulation. The problem is that it's only guaranteed to keep you in your own shit, right? And that's designed for you to never get better about your personal life until you end up in a certified specialist's hands, right? You go to therapy. Things like this. Oops. Oh, that's not good. Alright. Is everybody in that much of a rush? They can't see I'm signaling? There we go. It's okay, guys. It's... Nobody cares. I don't see anybody in the chat yet. There's like 6 people in here. Maybe I turned chat off. Oh, no, there we are. There we go. Rafael Savarinia is not what? You gotta roll the context. I say several things and I have no idea what precisely that was being responsive to. So anyway, the ontological experience of seeing the Matrix film You know, it was a big, like, it like primed me to not be fucking like mind controlled by 9/11 propaganda, right? Which it was hard. It's hard to tell how a thing can affect somebody, has an internal reaction to something and not an external reaction to it, right? And then what's also unfortunate is like, okay, a lot of people do not advise that you share your thoughts and feelings as much as I do. And maybe I ought not to, like I used to. But it's like I sit there and I just look at everything and I'm just like, there's somebody that this demonstration, whether you call it a performance or not, this demonstration of a principle is going to matter, because somebody had demonstrated a principle to me once, and that's how it got through to me, right? And a lot of people, they do not like to express themselves in any particular way that reveals any level of fucking vulnerability. And not because they're insecure. There's the people who do that because they're insecure. There's also people that do that because of the legitimate abilities, because there are levels of exploitation and abuse of your thoughts and emotions that is played upon by even darker sorcery. I'm a delusional. Okay. Maybe it sounds dumb. Alright. So Raphael, alright, so you've got a breakdown. So are you responding to me as a whole because you pay attention to the channel? If there's any mods here, leave him alone. Let's see if he's a constructive human being, because sometimes people talk like that because they're trying to extract an answer that I may actually be interested in giving them. So, okay, so you're listening, sir, all right, and you say I'm delusional and not right. About what? Talk. If you have the ability to make an authoritative statement, you have to back it up with the context of substance. All right, you have to give me detailed points, and not just dismissing what I say. Anybody can fucking dismiss, I can fucking sit there and I could listen to your guru and say, no, it's not. No, it's not that. It's so silly, and you're silly. Still here. Why you got question marks? Don't ask me. It's your opinion. Give your opinion. You're like describe, explain yourself according to your understanding. If you have to ask me a question, it already tells me that you don't know what I'm talking about, therefore not an authority on what I say. No, you didn't. Repeat yourself then. Repeat it right now, because I didn't see one long text going through you telling me a story about anything. Can I get you pregnant for another source of income from a deleted account? Another source of income, so you haven't figured out that you're the value. Oh my god, I was listening. Okay. I don't know that you're telling me the truth. I don't even know you. I've never seen your name before. You're just trying to tell me that like, I'm a teacher. You've just walked into my classroom. Maybe I've got a big class, or maybe I've got a very dark class, because the class can remain anonymous, because I can honor their privacy. Now you're just speaking up. You're just speaking up like I know what fucking classes you've attended, how many of them, how long, how much you've paid attention, what points you've taken home, and we've never fucking spoken before. Your name. So no, you're just an empty vessel. You're doing a word salad exercise. Like you're exercising the art of the argument with me or something like that. I don't know why you're doing that. It's a little weird. To the right, to short to the left. You're very funny, but I have a feeling that you're a troll, Trenton, whose last name is a vulgarity. Probably whoever got my last stream where I turned off the chat must have been like, ooh, let's pick up this guy when he's driving. So anyway. You don't have any sense of feedback, right? I don't know why the world gets really upset about idiots like you. I don't get that. Actually, you can help your last name. You can go to the government and legally change your name. You can go do that. You can actually have one legal name, and then you can have as many pseudonyms and aliases as you like. But if somebody wants to do business with you on the level with the government, they got to use your name. And and you don't have to use your name on YouTube. So you want to be Dick on YouTube. That's what you want to be. Because you don't know how to be anything better. You're a jackass and a laughing hyena. And you're here with me because you need a personality to feed on. You need to take a look at somebody who is developing themselves, who looks like they're trying to feel better about themselves, and you don't know how to feel better about yourself, so you tear me down because that's much easier than facing your demons tearing me down. And because I leave my chat open, it gives you room to do that, to feel good about yourself with the absolute useless production of your words. You know? Right, because you're bored. I mean, it's like 7:40 in the dawn over here in the East Coast of the United States. I'd imagine maybe you're in Australia and it's 8 p.m. or you're from New Zealand or whatever, right? You're just an alcoholic trying to figure out why you don't feel good after you've been vaccinated. It's just like, who are you? What the fuck are you, right? Are you so far removed from society that you feel like you just don't matter, and you think you're outside the eyes of just being fucking socially decent and respectful because nothing you do is of consequence from the swamp hole that you crawled out of? Right? And of course, people watching this will be like, why is he talking to all the swine? And that's a good fucking question. Just probing for souls, I suppose. Is there a soul to this pig. He thinks he can talk to me. So the other thing that was on my mind was I just watched last night for the first time The Holy Mountain by Jodorowsky. Jodorowsky's Holy Mountain from like 1973. That movie has been talked about in occult circles for a very fucking long time, and it had been on my list for quite a while, quite a fucking while. And it's a very, very intriguing movie that has all these interesting elements of the macro and the microcosm. It tells a story of people's lives from a big picture perspective, and then brings it down to something very personal, and shows you the ideas of magic throughout it. It's got a lot of comedy in it, a certain amount of strangeness. There's violence, a tremendous amount of violence in it too. There's certainly some very blasphemous ideas occurring with it. You've got one of the initiates of the alchemist, who's the main, who's the wizard here, is he's got this Jesus-looking Christian guy down there. I think it's Mexico, right? And then he has him transformed into from being a Catholic under very, like, we're talking about very weird Mexican Catholicism, and Christianity going on, right? And then he, like a madman, like a raving lunatic, climbs the wizard's fucking tower to go fucking kill the wizard. And his fucking and then the wizard fucking, like, puts an enchantment on him, fucking pulls a parasite out of the back of his neck, and begins him on a healing process of metaphysical principles much like mine. Takes you through all these characters that represent each planet in the solar system in a very deliberate way. The thing that makes the film challenging to me is that all of these characters, except for the Jesus-like character who's like the new guy, because he kind of plays the fool. With this Jesus-like character, the other guys, they all work. They're all big. They're kind of like they're middle management big shots, right? They're involved in companies that are involved with, like, the concerns of state. Like the dude who represents Uranus is a eugenicist, right? There's no lie about it. It starts off showing you how he wakes up at the beginning of the day, and the woman that he's with, and all of his weird eccentricities, right? He's Uranus, right? And then he goes over to, like, eventually they get dressed into a decent attire, walk into a room next to their bedroom that is an office with a computer in it. He's got, like, all this technical stuff. Then he walks over, he meets the president of Mexico, and he tells him exactly how many fucking people he has to kill in order to save the economy. And then he starts manufacturing the operation that will have his hidden hand cause an atrocity that he has to deal with, right? Um, Now, each of these characters has different degrees of your wondering of like what the fuck are they doing, right? Um, and there doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem. It's because I think the film is trying to make this big point. About the weave of how complicated it can be. In the world, right? Like the idea is that the primary wizard, he's a step above all of his initiates. His initiates are like somewhere level 1 or 2 or something like that. They've got their baseline of magical acumen. They're making a they're doing the fulfilling thing with their life. Most of it is big worldly stuff too, right? All very high profile, and all of it. This is like the global occultist like stuff, right? But that's not really. But this wizard, he's not telling them to do that, and he doesn't want the world to be that way. But it is a very kind of independent story, right? I think there's just a little bit of like you can't change the world, and I think it's wrong that there's a portrayal of people facilitating it that are not interested in facilitating it, but that's the position there. I mean, I'm glad that story exists because that could be a truth, but then it kind of also just doesn't address it, which is fine because the movie's not trying to be religious, which is the point. It makes its point about religion in the first act of the film. But anyway, it was pretty advanced occultism for its time in Western type cinema. Nothing compared to the evolutionary developments of the mentors that I call to, right? Because like looking at a film like that is very important because I'm an initiate in my own thing too, and there's a similarity there, right? There's a similarity there, except in our school there are some serious protocols that you can see in the public doctrine of it that are good, right? This is this is love. This is a service unto the higher force. You have your independence and your autonomy. Your only agenda is to be, to do the right thing, put the right work into the world, right, and to be a force of good. And a delusional person can make an evil thing look good, right? And this is not that with them, right? I think we do have to talk a little bit about like I work in this garden store, right? I only know a handful of things that I don't prefer that are a part of this garden store's business, right? They don't do a whole lot of quote organic stuff when they got their veggies and whatnot, or they do. I mean, it's growing because there's a market for it, right? It's just It's like, it's the little things, and you wish you could be a better influence on the company, right? But also, that's not your place. Like, I don't have a high position, right? That's me and where I'm at. Everybody's at their own levels, and all of us are healing and transcending our healing into excellence. And it's a long journey because in our work, we're addressing things that are real and present. In the Holy Mountain, it's a film that has a universal appeal. So it's painting a broader brush in that mystery school of that particular alchemist, right? Because when you grow and you develop, it's just like, not every alchemist ends up just having, oh, that's how my tower is going to look. I'm always going to have all of those particular occult symbols around me. Like, no, you're going to grow, you're develop. You know, like, you find the new things, and you're just like, this sigil is now incorporated into my work, right? These postures are now incorporated into my practice. That's what I do. I do it all the time. I find new yoga moves that suit me. I find new energy flows in my qigong that suit me. And over time, as I develop, I'll eventually make the big investments and sacrifices into higher levels of initiation into things, and not just in the mystery school that I'm in currently, because I'm already operating from two different initiatory disciplines that are not in alignment anymore. They were at one point, despite being completely independent, and definitely having differences even when they were in alignment. But these things have been on my mind for quite some time. It's just what I wanted to share today on my day. Let's see how my trolls are sucking. All right, what's the movie's title again? Movies suck. You can go back and listen. I don't have to I don't have to repeat myself, you know. Oh, are you guys okay? So you guys are literally acting like I've been talking about a movie that I didn't mention. Is that what's going on? See, Diablo said a bunch of shit that got redacted. Okay. So anyway, let's see here. I am. All right, so Trenton, you are on a 24-hour timeout. You're on a 24-hour timeout until I'm convinced that you're interested in proper knowledge and wisdom, and you know how to pay attention and put effort. I don't have any fucking respect for you. Okay? Because this is my place and my time. And you guys have been knuckleheads. Watch 13 Hour for our country. 13 Hours. Did I see that film? It's kind of a propagandist film. I'm not down with that shit. Anyway, and you want to be a contrarian, so we're gonna put you also in a 24-hour timeout. Raphael. And one day you will have a constructive mind, and you will do greater things than bothering people live streaming on the internet. So anyway, I was talking about the Holy Mountain. The Holy Mountain's the name of the film. Jodorowsky, Alejandro Jodorowsky, who's his name is well known for the documentary about how he was going to make Dune back in the 1970s, and he bit off more than he could chew with a script that would have been like a fucking like 20-hour movie or something like that, and everything from his fucking script slash storyboard was ripped apart and turned into everything we know in sci-fi today. Every element was used in different films. This is also why the Tom Althouse interview is going to be exciting for me, because here's a guy they did that to also, but unlike Jodorowsky, they didn't have fucking permission to do it. Jodorowsky, by the merit of what happened and the fact that, you know, ultimately a film was not ever shot based on his script. Like, you couldn't just let all of that amazing shit he put together go to waste, right? It would have been selfish for the unfortunate circumstances that happened to Jodorowsky. For Tom Althouse, his story was not just put into all three fucking Matrix movies and the Animatrix, it also had shit leak out into fucking Elysium and Oblivion. And there's other fucking films that are involved because of the level that he fucking pissed off Hollywood, starting with Warner Brothers. So he's got this fascinating story to tell. I couldn't be more fucking excited, considering the tragic details of his life that have led to the victories he's beginning to manifest now. And it's a beautiful thing to watch, and I can't wait to break it down with the man. All right. I'll see you guys for that conversation on the 9th, here and on the Awaken Your Mind channel. Later.